Greetings everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm very excited to be launching Jody Ann's Kitchen Food for Thought. It's something I've been thinking about for a few years and encouraged by numerous friends to go ahead and give it a whirl, see who's out there who might be interested in some of the fascinating things I've learned about how to eat healthier. So here I am to share some weekly tips on food prep and storage and maybe a little bit of recipes. This isn't going to be a cooking show where I demonstrate how to make things, at least not yet. Maybe when my video skills are more advanced, I'll launch into that. But for now, I'm actually trying to recreate a feeling that I used to have when I would get together with my girlfriends at their house, at their kitchen table, or they'd come to mine, usually like on a Saturday morning, because we were all usually pretty busy during the week. And I would either share ideas with them or actual food that I had prepared. I even had one dear friend, a neighbor, who hated to cook but loved to eat the recipes and vegan things I was trying out. And she'd actually give me money to go get produce, and whatever I wanted to whip up that week, she was happy to just have some of it. No pre-ordering, just, hey, whatever you're making this week, Jody, I know I'm going to like it, so, make some extra for me. And I've always enjoyed cooking for others. I started cooking for others when I was maybe about 10. My mom was a music teacher, and she taught music lessons in our home. And there was usually a real quick dinner break of about 30 minutes between the afternoon students and the evening students. So I used to help prepare meals and eventually handled it all on my own as I got older so that our family could have a quick dinner together during that break in her schedule. But I always loved to cook. I had a cookbook when I was about 10, I think, and it was designed for kids, but I enjoy the planning. I especially love the preparation. And I know not everybody enjoys cooking, but there are also a lot of shortcuts and simple things that you can do to eat healthier. It doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be expensive. And you don't have to be a vegan to enjoy my show, but everything I'm going to share is going to be plant-based. And I think you'll be surprised, perhaps, at just how healthy and delicious a lot of plant-based foods can be. Usually it's just a lack of familiarity with stuff that keeps people from trying plant-based food. What's it going to be like? Or I don't know what to do, or I don't know where to buy that ingredient. So I'm here to make things easier and give you some food for thought about what might work for you. And for this first episode, one of my favorite healthy salad dressing options is something that anybody can make at home, and you can make any variation of this that you want. Again, I'm not going to give you an actual recipe, but I start with some balsamic vinegar, and if you're just making enough for you for one salad, maybe a couple tablespoons, some balsamic vinegar, and it comes in either dark, which is really strong, and I like it sometimes, but there's also gold balsamic or white balsamic vinegar. All of these are in my local grocery store, so I'm hoping you can find them too. So find the type of balsamic vinegar that you can enjoy, and then add a little bit of mustard. If you have a couple tablespoons of the vinegar, maybe a teaspoon of mustard or more, depending on how much you like the sourness of mustard. And then to add a little bit of sweetness, I use maple syrup. So usually equal parts of mustard and maple syrup added to the balsamic vinegar. Now, if you're not trying to avoid oil, which I try to avoid oil, which I can get into reasons for that later, you can also add some oil to this, and that could extend it. Like, say you whip this up and you put a dab on your finger and go, oh, that's really good, but it's not enough. Add some oil to extend it, or add water, or add more of all three ingredients. The point is, it's pretty simple. If you have these ingredients on hand, once you do get them and have them on hand, you can make salad dressing in a flash, and you're not using bottled dressing, which has a lot of preservatives and flavorings, sometimes sweeteners, all kinds of extra things. This is just going to be pure amazing flavor. Um, if the balsamic vinegar is a little too much for you, for many years I used to just mix the mustard and maple syrup together and then add water or a little bit of oil, so it was more like a honey mustard without that balsamic zing that can be added. But the lighter balsamic vinegars actually add a lot of delicious flavor without being so intense, so I encourage you to check those out. And as I say, you can just throw these in a little dish or measuring cup or whatever and whisk them together with a whisk or a fork, and you've got a quick, delicious dressing. And if you want, you can come up with variations on it yourself. Add some spices that you like. Add, some Italian seasoning. I don't know how that would go, but I'm just throwing out ideas. You could also use other sweeteners like agave syrup, which is one that I also have on hand. I happen to love the taste of maple, so I use it more than agave. I use date powder, which is ground dried dates, which is in a powdery form very similar to granulated sugar. And you sometimes could use that type of a sweetener. So just some food for thought for the week ahead to experiment with dressings, and I will check in again with you guys soon with some more tips and ideas, and feel free to send me any questions or about things you're curious about or would like to hear me talk about. All right, bye for now.